So DLD, tell me, how did you find Matters of Size? How did you come about the whole process of exercises and lengthening your penis?
Wow, that's a crazy story. For me, it was about, I guess, about 18 years ago. I was taking Prozac and another medication. I can't remember what the other medication was, but I was taking Prozac and another medication. And the side effects were, there could be impotence issues, there could be, have problems keeping it up, there could be problems with ejaculation, erection quality, all these different sexual side effects that could happen, and every single one of them happened to me. It was terrible. But the medication was really helping me, so I was I had OCD at the time that I was struggling with, and I needed to stay on the medication, and that's really like built into everything that I do today too, because I've taken such a good approach towards the mental part of penis enlargement, because a lot of men come to me with the same kind of issues. But when I was originally getting into it, I was pretty confident about my size. I mean, I didn't think you could change it. I was 6.5 inches, and I knew there was bigger penises than mine, but most girls thought mine was plenty big. But I saw people like John Holmes at the time, and I was like, wow, he has an enormous penis. But I never dreamed that there was a way to get it. I never thought you could. So for me, when I first started what I did was I went online and I searched for ways. At the time, there was like Viagra wasn't around, or if it was, I didn't know anything about it. So at the time, I was searching online, and there was a lot of news groups, some bulletin boards. We were one of the first. I mean, there wasn't a lot of bulletin boards. So at the time, it was a lot of news groups, and I searched, and I finally found this document it was in Arabic, and there wasn't even a way to convert the text. I had to get help in converting it, what the text say, but it was about penis enlargement. Certain parts were converted, but it basically explained the logic or theory behind what penis enlargement was. It taught me basic stretching exercises, and it taught me the basic jelqing exercise. But the way the guy wrote it and the way he believed in it was such conviction, and he was giving it away for free. So he was like, basically, he said, listen, either you do the exercise, and if you don't fucking do them, you're not going to make gains. Don't complain to me. You're getting this for free anyways. I got the text, and I finally figured out what it said. And the guy, like I said, he was really hardcore. It was written really hardcore. He was like, basically, if you don't have the time to do it, make the time. He said, this is how you do the exercises, and basically if you do these exercises, you're going to get a bigger penis, and if you don't do them, you're not. But then he went into the logic behind it. He described how I could get harder erections, and I was more open to believe that part of it, because harder erections, I had harder erections at one time, and the medication was causing this issue, so the science behind getting harder erections made a lot of sense to me. So what I did was I did the program exactly the way he said to do it, including all the the jelqing, all the exercises to get bigger, but also the Kegels, or the pelvic floor exercises he talked about. And he said how important they were too. So these 3 exercises, the Kegel, basic stretching, and basic jelqing. And over a 6-month period, the first week, I noticed harder erections the first week, and so did my girl. That was undeniable. So immediately I had the inspiration to keep going. And this was, I'm not sure how far in, it must have been like maybe a month in, I started to feel like I was changing, but I only measured before I started. I didn't measure until the 6-month point. But there were signs. I mean, there were signs in bed with my girl. There were signs all over the place. And about 6 months, I'm going to say right about 6 months, because that's when I got involved with the whole matters of size part of it. About 6 months, I was at work one day and I decided to measure. The guy said not to measure till you were 6 months in anyways, and it was 6 months in. And that morning, my girlfriend said to me, I think I was 30 35 at the time. She said, "Is your penis still growing?" It's like, I didn't know what to say, because I didn't tell her I was doing penis enlargement. So I kind of just chuckled to myself, and I went to work that day. I was working at a printing company, and we had lots of measuring devices. I was tempted that whole 6 months to measure, but I measured that day, and I was floored. I gained 2 inches in length. It was 6 months and I gained 2 inches. I measured, double measured, triple measured, checked it over and over and over. I'm obsessive compulsive, remember, and I checked that measurement a million times. I was in there. I was 6.5 inches exactly when I started. I had a string marked. I had everything. I wanted to prove that this wasn't going to work. I mean, I knew getting the harder erections happened so quickly, but the size gain? So when I finally found out I gained 2 inches, I remember the day my girlfriend came and got me. We were driving home, and she was very sexual, and she started to talk about it again. I said to her, to be honest with you, I'm doing these exercises, and I measured today, and I gained 2 inches. And she said, "Yeah, I knew something was going on. Something had to be going on." So when she accepted it, I kind of went out to try to find the guy that wrote that article in the news group, and it wasn't around anymore. I couldn't find him, but I found a few other news groups and forums that were online, and I started to get involved. And they knew about what I knew about. I don't know how they knew about it, but they knew about it. It was a very small group of men, and the gains they were making at the time were, a good gain was like making an inch gain in 2 years. I gotta be honest. I mean, it was very archaic. And when a lot of people say that I did not invent penis enlargement, but when I came into penis enlargement, it was like a 1942 telephone, really. And today, it's the most advanced iPhone because of what I brought to the table. After that 6 months, I took a lot of men under my wing and worked with them. And I did a lot of experimentation, a lot of studies on my own. I actually left my job so I could dedicate my whole life to it, because I became obsessed with not only how I could change my body and get a bigger penis and all this confidence, something I never dreamed, but the fact that I could teach other men how to do it, and they were having similar results. And so I started to invent my own exercises, really. And the first exercise I came out with was an exercise called DLD blasters, which is pretty much a staple in everybody's routine today. I mean, DLD blasters, even my arch enemies, forums that hate me, even people that don't want to say it, they have to include DLD blasters in their training because it just makes really good sense. It's one of the most brilliant techniques in penis enlargement. Not to get too much into it, but penis enlargement surgery, when they do penis enlargement surgery, a lot of men think you can gain size there. You don't gain size. When you do penis enlargement surgery, they cut the suspensory ligament on the penis, and it allows the penis to hang a bit lower. And when they send you home with devices or weights or ways to stretch your penis to take advantage of the ligaments no longer being there and being able to lengthen your shaft. It doesn't give you girth gains unless you get girth-specific injections, whatever. So at the time, there was no way I was going to do penis enlargement surgery, so I wanted to figure out a way around that. And the Kegels, what I talked about earlier, the squeezes, the pelvic floor muscle exercises, I learned that if you did the reverse of that, and this is through my own experimentation, a reverse Kegel, you could pretty much do what penis enlargement surgery did and bypass those ligaments and stretch the penis and make length gain so much faster. It was a very simple thing to do, but it was that kind of influence and those kind of exercise that made me really, really famous really quickly. And even today, I'm still involved. People said I was a one-hit wonder, and I'm just the wonder man of the whole thing because I've been involved with this thing every day. Even my competitors cannot deny that I have helped men and took men under my wings this whole time. I was featured in GQ magazine. I was featured in I was featured in a lot of black men's magazines. I'm an Italian man. I'm a white man. Being featured in his magazines was just a blessing to me, that I could be accepted by such an important group in penis size. And we know it's all true. And then seeing the effect I had on men mentally, a lot of men come to me that were suicidal. Some guys wanting to kill themselves over penis size, and when I could get it through to them that that's easy to do, just listen, let me show you how to do it. When I could get that through to them and take them under my wing and show them the way, their whole lives changed. Everything completely changed for them. And when I saw that super effect it had, and how they would help other people, and how this whole brotherhood methodology and environment that just encouraged a lot of people to take, I would say, risks, very big risks. I mean, we're dealing with your penis, and a lot of people in my forums, very, very revolutionary men, I'm so proud to have there.